秘密ならまたこれからも作っていけるだろ。
The Tabiana National Park is one of the most famed national parks worldwide. The vast savanna, the meandering river, and diverse wildlife have put it high on the list of travel recommendations. You and Luke rent a car and drive through the beautiful scenic lands of the savannah. Look, there are gazelles over there. How cute. I want to go pet them.
な、こう見えても公園にはチーターとかもいるんだぞ。今は見えないけど、車からは絶対に降りちゃダメだからな。
He's so overprotective as usual. I know, I was just saying, don't be so uptight. Besides, we shouldn't be disturbing wildlife on a whim. Hey Luke, is that a rhino over there? Not far away in the grass, there is a vague outline of a gray-colored animal.
かもな。よし、もう少しだけ近づいてみるか。
Luke slowly brings the car closer. Finally, you get a full view of the animal. It's a baby elephant, only half a meter tall. The animal's lying on the ground. Seeing you drive closer, it struggles to get up and flee. Elephants this young can't survive alone, right? Where is its mother? You don't see any grown elephants around. Neither of you saw any on the way here, either.
象は家族を大事にする動物だ。母親は決して子供から離れないし、群れの中の絆も強い。
Here comes tour guide Luke yet again.
母親の象が亡くなったとしても、群れの他の象が責任を持って子供を育てるはずだ。だから普通に考えれば、子供の象がはぐれることはないと思うけど。
The baby elephant staggers a small distance, only to fall back onto the ground. I didn't expect that noise. Luke, is it sick?
俺が降りて様子を見てくる。お前はその間に公園の動物救援センターに連絡して、この状況を説明してくれ。
I mean, we're not exactly veterinarians or animal biologists or anything like that. But if you get out of the car...
今は仕方がない。安心しろって。ちゃんと気をつけるから。
I mean, I'm sure he'll wrestle some couple of animals. He'll be fine. Fine. It's fine. Luke checks the surroundings with his binoculars before getting out of the car. He walks towards the baby elephant. Seeing him approach, the baby elephant cries out in panic. I mean, what? That sounded like a fart noise.
よしよし。怖くないぞ。俺はお前を助けに来たんだ。
How did they get a panicked elephant noise? Luke gently rubs its head, calming it down. He carefully examines its body as he reassured its frazzled nerves.
目立った外傷はないみたいだけど、やけに体が熱いな。水を持ってきてくれ。あと毛布も。
Okay. Luke takes the bottle as he hands them over. He first pours some into its mouth, then some onto its body to help it cool down. Sorry, I'm about to burp. I was struggling a little bit to read because I felt my throat a little bit weird. Anyways, I shouldn't say any of this stuff. I'm having problems right now. The baby elephant stopped its fearful wails upon seeing water, moving to eagerly drink it. Luke covers the elephant with the blanket once it had drunk its fill. What's this for?
子供の象の皮膚は薄くて柔らかいから、ここの日差しには耐えられないんだ。だから普通なら母親のお腹の下に隠れてるはずなんだ。
My goodness, Luke, you know everything about animals, like at the aquarium and stuff like that.
けど、この状況じゃもう仕方ないから、毛布を使って代わりに覆っておく。
Are you sure you study bioengineering? Is that... Are you sure about that? I'll go bring the car closer so that its shadow can shade the baby elephant a little bit more. You stay with the baby elephant, comforting it. It gradually calms down. About an hour later, the rescue team arrives. But when the rescuers attempt to move the baby elephant up into the vehicle, he starts to cry out again and winds his trunk tightly around Luke's arm.
これはどういうこと?
He thinks, well, not he, because I don't know the gender of the elephant. The elephant thinks that you're its mom, probably. He doesn't want to leave you? Actually, this kind of reminds me of a story, okay? I'm going a little off track, but I'll quickly say it. I found, well, not I. My husband and I, we were walking back to our home. And we found a snapping turtle. A huge snapping turtle on the way to our previous home, which was a condo apartment. And it was kind of interesting. We had to call a ranger over to get it somewhere. But we didn't want to get close to it because obviously snapping turtles that big and out of its nature, naturally they'd be scared of it. I mean, so we had to, like, well, someone in the neighborhood had a friend, called the ranger over, and we got him into a box. So that was kind of interesting. But anyways, I'll continue with the story. Upon seeing this, the rescuers ask you and Luke to accompany it to the elephant sanctuary where orphan elephants can be protected and taken care of. I swear I've seen this scene so many times. If someone were to ask what it was like to prepare formula milk for a baby elephant, you'd probably be able to give a very expert answer. What is that supposed to mean?
はい、その通りです。粉ミルクとヤシ油、それとぬるいを混ぜてよく振ります。
Wait, he's telling Luke to do that because he's basically like the, well, surrogate mom right now? Oh, wait, it's Rosa who's doing it. You pick up the 2-liter bottle and shake it up hard, just as the caretaker instructed. It's so heavy.
ほら、変わるよ。
I mean, he is strong enough to do that. Luke takes the mixture from you and shakes it vigorously.
こんな感じで大丈夫ですか?
The caretaker nods approvingly.
ミルクやりはやっぱりお父さんにもやってもらわないとね。
I don't think it matters which gender participates in what, as long as the baby is taken care of.
次はミルクを手の甲に落として温度を確かめます。ミルクの温度は35度。つまり母親の象の平均体温くらいが適当です。
Like you usually do with actual baby humans. My god, I am not thinking correctly today. Luke puts a few drops of milk on the backs of all 3 of your hands. Oh. The warm milk drips down the back of your hand. You can smell its faint sweetness.
これで OK です。あの子に飲ませてあげてください。
Luke brings the bottle to the baby elephant and he starts drinking happily.
よしよし、いい子だ。焦らなくていいぞ。全部お前のだからな。
It all goes back to when you first arrived at the elephant sanctuary. After arriving at the elephant sanctuary, the staff immediately did a full body examination of the baby elephant.
小僧を見つけていただき、本当にありがとうございました。その子はまだ2歳で、乳離れもしておらず、あと数日遅ければどうなっていたか。
Oh, that's very interesting.
現状、脱水と栄養失調の症状が見られますが、それほど重症ではないので、今後ゆっくりと休めば回復できると思います。
助かってよかったです。
The caretaker brings a 2-liter bottle and brings it close to the baby elephant's mouth. But no matter how much the caretaker tried to coax it to drink, the baby elephant turns his head away. Why doesn't he drink? Isn't he dehydrated and malnourished?
私を人間を信用していないのかもしれませんね。
Then what is Luke?
それは密漁のせいでしょうか。一応象牙売買を禁止する活動はすでに展開されていますが、国際規模の闇市場ではまだまだ取引が行われています。それに世界的な違法取引の中で密漁や密輸は人身売買や麻薬取引、偽造品取引の次に深刻な問題です。
その通り。象牙の3分の1は象の頭蓋に埋まっているので、象牙を入手するには象を手にかけなければなりません。
Oh my god.
そして密漁者の中には生きたまま象牙を取り出す者たちもいます。そんな惨状を目の当たりにして人間を敵視しない赤ちゃん象はいません。この子のように孤児となった象は特にそうです。
You probably can see me on webcam, which I can't. I don't feel like turning it on. I'm like, my face is cringed right now, honestly.
そうだ。お二人がこの子にミルクをあげてみては。
Us?
ここに来た時、この子はお二人には懐いている様子でしたから。きっと助けてくれたから信頼しているのでしょ
わかりました。やってみます。
Luke takes the bottle and lowers it to the baby elephant. He gently rubs the baby elephant's head just as he did when he fed him water.
いい子だからこれを飲んでくれ。
Oops. Let me replay that.
いい子だからこれを飲んでくれ。飲んだら元気になれるから。
He fidgets but still seems apprehensive of the bottle. Luke pours some of the milk into his palm and brings it to the baby elephant's mouth.
本当だぞ。試しに一口舐めてみな。
The baby elephant opens his mouth and reluctantly licks the liquid in Luke's hand. Then something clicked in his head. He instantly raised his head to the bottle and greedily gulps down the formula. He's drinking it.
う。やっぱりこの子はあなた方を親だと思っているみたいですね。象は感情が豊かな動物です。母親を失った象は母親の愛を求め、代わりとなる存在を求めるんです。
I don't think we can bring him to Stella's city though. Or her. I don't know which gender it is still.
それで急なお願いで申し訳ないのですが、もう数日ここに滞在してはもらえないでしょうか。
You want us to stay for a couple of days?
その子が一人で草原をさまよっていた原因はまだ分かっていませんが、こちらの方ではすでにレンジャーを出動させ、近くで象の群れを捜索してもらっています。運が良ければこの子をすぐ送り返せるでしょう。ですがもし捜索がうまくいかなかった場合、その子にはここの飼育員たちと仲良くなってもらう必要があります。象はとても敏感な動物で、人間に近い感情を持っていると言っても過言ではありません。この子があなた方を親だと思っている今、もしお二人がいなくなったら、彼はそのショックに耐えられるか分かりません。無理なお願いを言っている自覚はありますが、その昔似たような状況で幼い小象が亡くなったことがあるんです。
You and Luke share a glance.
わかりました。しばらくはここに残ります。どのようにお世話をすればいいのか教えてください。
After getting some food and rest, the baby elephant is in much better shape than before. He rubs affectionately his head against the both of you while looking around inquisitively.
もしかしてここに興味を持ち始めたのか。
それはいいことです。では今のうちに象車を用意しておきますから、お二人は彼を散歩に連れて行っていただけると助かります。大変だとは思いますが、他の小象もいるエリアなので、もしお友達でもできればきっとこの子のためになるかと。
No problem.
そうでした。せっかくなので彼に名前をつけてあげてください。 ずっとこの子呼びなのもかわいそうなので。
True. Luke, what do you think would be a good name for him?
え、
Oh, it's
俺
a
が
him.
考えるのか？
Luke contemplates for a while.
ゾウノスケとか
Donosuke?
ゾウイチローとかか？
Sweet. Luke, why are your naming skills like a kid's? Look at her face.
じゃあゾウジロ
Oh my god. It's not a matter of size. Hearing the name that Luke came up with, the baby elephant turns away with an unfronted look. Luke, how about giving him your last name, Pierce? You should take your last name since you were the one who saved him. There, half of the work is done. Now you only need to give him a first name.
なるほどな。ちょっと考えてみるか。夏。
Natsu? I mean... Natsu. Is that what it is? I mean, sure, it's just the translation, I guess. Okay, whatever. The baby elephant suddenly cries out happily as Luke says, Peter Pierce. Why does the translation have to be that way? Why does it have to be that way? Hey Luke, do you think he likes the name Peter Pierce? How about Peter Pierce? It sounds cute. For Japanese, it's Natsuhiko Minatse, but you know. What's wrong? Is it a bad name?
あ、いや、そうじゃないんだ。この名前は今後のために取っておきたかったっていうか。
How far in the future are you thinking? It's kind of cute, but still saving it.
いやいや、なんでもない。忘れてくれ。こいつの名前は夏で決まりだ。
Luke turns around and starts calling the baby elephant by this name.
夏。
The baby elephant rubs his head happily against you two. He really likes the name.
これもまたある種の縁ってやつか。
In the afternoon, the baby elephant of the sanctuary frolic around on the grass. They are having fun playing with branches, balls, and having water fights with each other using their trunks. Baby elephants know how to play with balls.
みたいだな。しかも飼育員から聞いた話だけど、ゾウにとってボール遊びは目や鼻の筋肉を鍛えるのにちょうどいいんだってさ。
Amidst your conversation, a baby elephant runs towards the both of you, chasing after a ball. Luke nudges Peter. Oh, fun fact about the name Natsu, or Natsu, the word itself, it means summer in Japan, or Japanese rather. So it's kind of interesting. I don't know what Natsuhiko wholly means because I have to look it up, which I don't want to spend too much time doing that right now.
よし、じゃあ夏、遊びに行ってこい。
But Peter spares neither the ball nor the other baby elephants a glance. He rolls his trunk against your wrist and Luke's affectionate... What? Affectionately? You mean affection? Looks like he just wants to play with us. But the caretaker said that it's not good for him to get too attached to humans.
それなら俺が一肌脱ぐしかないな。
Luke nudges the ball and bounces up. Then he juggles the ball with his legs, shoulders, chest, and both sides of his feet. He went slowly at first before slowly picking up speed. Watching Luke playing with the ball is mesmerizing. It's almost as if it's an extension of his body, He runs and jumps, yet the ball never once hits the ground. Whenever Luke used to show off his technique in the neighborhood as a kid, all the naughty kids would stop what they were doing and stare at him in amazement. Even their parents took to say, Luke isn't going to teach you soccer anymore if you don't behave, instead of, you're not getting any allowance if you misbehave. That's weird, okay. You look at Peter, he is staring intently at Luke. Looks like Peter can't resist his charm either. You know, now that I think about it, Peter Pierce doesn't really... I don't know. Maybe it does roll off the tongue, but it didn't seem to me at first. You nudge Peter. Peter, go play with Luke. Seeing Peter coming, Luke smiles and tosses the ball over to him. Then he catches one more ball and kicks it in Peter's direction. The baby elephants who were chasing the ball instantly turn around, running towards Peter. And then came the third and fourth ball. Luke controls the direction of each ball, getting the baby elephants to chase one after another. They playfully tussle at each other for the balls, twisting their trunks together. Soon they become inseparable friends. Luke backs away when he sees Peter starting to fit in and socialize with the other baby elephants. That's cute. That was awesome! Detective Pierce, you're still in your prime, and you've not lost your touch. It's a shame you didn't join the national soccer team.
サッカーチームに入ったら今度はバスケとバレーのコーチが講義しに来ちゃうだろ。
I don't think that's how it works, but okay.
それにフリーでいる方がどこにでも助っ人として入れるから便利なんだよ。
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to see us that much. Luke looks at Peter, who is competing for the ball with others in the distance.
夏、友達ができるといいな。
It's normal for kids to form friendships over games. By the time the game is over and feeding starts, Peter had already made a close friend, Elsa, who is right beside him. So, kids often come out of their shells because of sports, and thanks to that, Peter no longer shows any trace of his initial shyness.
食べ物を無駄にしちゃダメだろ、夏。まだ食べたいなら先に食べかけた方を食べてからな。
He's so motherly. It's kind of funny. Luke dodges Peter's long trunk and points to the half-eaten apple that had rolled to the lake, which Peter had just taken a bite of. Peter glances at the half-eaten apple and stretches his long trunk around Luke, try reaching for the new apple in his hand.
ダメなものはダメだ。
He ate every bite earlier when he was eating bananas with Elsa. Why is he wasting apples now? After Luke pushes Peter's long trunk away several times, Peter has no other choice but go get the other half of the apple by the river.
そうそう。そいつを食べたら新しいリンゴをやるよ。
Whoosh. Just as Luke finishes speaking, a trunk worth of water suddenly splashes in front of him. Oh, now the kid is retaliating.
こりゃ驚いた。夏にしてやられたぞ。
Luke. Using the distraction created by the water, Peter reaches out to the fruit basket with his trunk with surprising speed.
無駄だぞ、夏。
Aww. Luke raises his hand to block Peter's trunk. Peter turns to you in frustration and gives you a pitiful, pleading look. He wraps his long trunk around your wrist, pulling you towards Luke. Huh? Peter?
夏、それってもしかして言いつけてやったつもりなのか？
Luke and Peter get into a small scuffle in front of you. Well... I gotta help him. You know. Good boy, Peter. Finish his half first, and then we'll give you a new one. Peter shrinks away upon seeing that you're not feeding him something new either.
聞こえたか？お母さんも。
Oh. Luke suddenly stops talking, turning completely red. Even his ears were no exception. Aw.
つい。
Peter darts his trunk out, snatching an apple while Luke is distracted. Oh.
夏
But Peter doesn't eat it. Instead, he happily passes it to his new buddy Elsa, who is beside him. Then he runs to the river, happily picks up the half-finished apple and eats it. So Peter wanted to share the apple with Elsa.
アフリカゾウの夏は初めてリンゴを食べただろうから。その味に驚いて、急いで仲間に分けようと思ったのかもな。
That's so cute. Luke gently rubs Peter's head.
誤解してごめんな、夏。次は何が食べたい？
Luke happily puts the fruits basket in front of Peter and Elsa. By the time you and Luke returns the baby elephants, it is nearing dusk. You follow the caretaker to Peter's barn. The floor is covered with hay, and there is a camping cot by the wall. A bed? Don't they usually sleep on the ground?
あれは飼育員用ですよ。2歳以下の小僧の場合、夜は飼育員が親代わりとなってあそこで寝るんです。密猟で孤児となった象たちのほとんどは心的外傷後ストレス障害を起こしているケースが多く、ああして付き添いが必要なんです。
Interesting how PTSD is mentioned in this one, whereas, you know, it should be mentioned with Ben, but oh well, you know, it'd be like that.
夏の状況はまだ不明ですが、ここで寝るのは初めてなので、お二人のどちらかがそばにいてあげられれば、彼も安心できるでしょう。
I thought it's a laughing matter of PTSD. It's not what I'm saying, but yeah. Anyways, moving on. Luke, let's do it together. It would be easier for the two of us to handle a situation together if anything happens tonight.
わかった。そうしようか。
そうだ。お二人もこの地は初めてでしょうから、レンジャーの方を2名ほどつけておきました。同じ国の出身という方らしいので、きっと話しやすいと思いますよ。
How are we talking right now?
後ほどお見えになると思いますので、少々お待ちください。
I'm kind of joking.
お気遣いありがとうございます。ところで、夜の付き添いに関しては何か注意点とかはありますか？
特にはないですね。時折様子を見てもらえば、それで問題はありません。強いて言えば、母親の象のように撫でてあげれば、彼も落ち着くと思いますよ。あ、それと、毛布をかけてあげるといいかもしれませんね。もしかしたら、母親の皮膚の感触を思い出せるかも。
Then the caretaker slaps his forehead.
おっと、その毛布を事務室に忘れてました。すぐに取ってきますね。
俺も一緒に行きますよ。
Luke gently holds your hand for a second.
というわけだからちょっと行ってくる。お前は夏に部屋の案内でもして待っててくれ。
Okay. Not long after Luke leaves, there's a knock at the door. You open the door and see two young men dressed in camouflage attire, looking like exact carbon copies of each other. They must be the rangers that the caretaker mentioned earlier.
おお、異国の地で故郷の人に会えるなんて、なんだか感動しますね。
That's an interesting name.
失礼。はじめまして。俺は広井大地と言います。で、こっちが弟の空です。
待って。こいつが言ったことは嘘ですよ。俺の方が兄ですからね。
You find yourself a little at a loss for words. The twins laugh heartily at your reaction before taking turns to shake your hand.
冗談。すみません。 俺が弟です。
Hello there.
あなたが子供の像を見つけてくれた人ですよね。あれ、彼氏さんは一緒じゃないのですか？
Why always that? I'm just joking. This misunderstanding never fails to arise one way or another, but you don't really want to explain it right now. You went to get a blanket for Peter Pierce.
夏小僧の名
まさかとは思いますが、夏ってサマー。
Huh? Oops, I didn't mean to. The twins frown in unison at the word Pierce. What's wrong? Is there something wrong with this name?
あ、いえ、ただある人の顔を思い出しまして。
正直忘れがたい人です。
Who is it? The door swings open just as they think of how to phrase it for you. Luke returns with a blanket in his arms. Are they friends? The twins turn around only for their jaw to drop instantly.
水瀬教官
Ah,
大地、空。
you guys know each other?
ああ、何年か前、俺が舞台で教官をやってた頃に知り合った人たちだよ。
Luke looks at Kai and Elias.
久しぶり。っていうか、もう昔のことなんだし、教官はやめません。あと、俺を見るなり気をつけをするのもやめてください。もう舞台にいるわけじゃないんですから。
Huh. Kai and Elias are stunned for a moment, then they exchange a complex look.
すみません。
本当条件反射というか。
それで、二人はどうしてここに？
俺たちは引退した後、国内にある密漁取締組織霊人密漁対策協会に加入しました。それでレンジャーのボランティアを募集してると聞いてここに応募したんです。象が大好きっていう別の理由もありますけどね。
あ、ちなみに俺が一番好きなのはキリンです。
なるほど。以前に夏の母親を探してくれてたレンジャーというのはお二人のことでしたか。それで何か手がかりはありました？
いえ、特には。可能性の高そうな場所で痕跡や監視データを調べてみましたけど、群れが通過した形跡はなかったですね。あるいは夏は川に流されてきたのかもしれません。あの川の上流には象が頻繁に出没する場所がありますから。
That really does remind me of the snapping turtle I found. Because the ranger thinks that it was swept by the hurricane that happened. Or, well, it wasn't like a big ass hurricane, it was like the side effect of the hurricane coming into the east coast. So that's what happened.
先週あそこのトラップを排除した時も象の群れを見かけましたよ。確か中には夏くらいの象もいましたね。
Wait, traps? Were any elephants hurt? What about the poachers that set them?
いえ、密猟者には逃げられました。ですが、怪我をした象もいなかったので、ひとまず安心してください。それに、夏のことは他のレンジャーたちにも知らせてやります。今後は彼らが上流を探してくれるので、我々は続報を待ちましょう。
The twins chat with Luke for a few more minutes before they leave. Get right on to the next act. The day turns to night.
寝る前にミルクをあげるよう頼まれてるから、ちょっと用意してくるな。
Okay. A few minutes after Luke leaves, you hear a soft knock on the door. Kai and Elias carefully push the door open, poking their heads in. Looking for Luke? He just left, but he should be back in a few minutes.
いえいえ、水瀬さんじゃなくて、あなたに聞きたいことがあってきたんです。
その通り。ミルクを用意してくれる予定だった飼育員さんにわざわざ足止めまでお願いしてね。
Is there something I can help you with? The twins quickly settle themselves in, sitting cross-legged in front of you with sincere looks across their faces.
聞きたいのは、水瀬じゃなくて、水瀬さんについてのことです。何やら、水瀬さんが象たちとボール遊びをしたり、ミルクをあげたり、さらにはとても優しく接してあげたとか。
それは本当なんですか？不思議。あなたは水瀬さんと付き合ってるんですよね。普段の水瀬さんって一体どんな人なんです？
Luke? He's tough and gentle, always thinking of others. An ever-present smile on his face. He's just like a ray of sunshine. Yep, that's what he is. No matter what happens, I feel safe as long as I'm with him. You can't help but crack a little smile as heat starts to rise to your cheeks. But when you look at the twins, they look as if they've just heard a terrifying ghost story. The blush on your face instantly disappears. Did Luke act differently when he was with you guys? The two nodded vigorously.
確かに頭脳も身体能力もずば抜けてますけど、彼は何と言っても冷徹で無慈悲。感情なんて持ち合わせていないと思ってました。
自分で言うのもなんだけど、俺たちだって優秀だから特殊部隊に選ばれたんです。けど、水瀬さんはそこの教官ですからね。
懐かしいな。
They both look like they have a lot of stories to tell, which piques your curiosity even more. What happened during the time when Luke was your instructor?
そうですね。出会った当初、俺たちは立場上水瀬さんの指示に従ってましたけど、内心ではちょっと不服でした。だって年下ですよ。おまけに顔つきだって幼いし。とても。
彼が教官に昇進したのも、たまたま運よく手柄を立てられたからだって、当時はよく周りに言われてましたよ。
You guys give him a hard time?
いやいや、困らせるとかそんな大げさなものではなかったですよ。でも、俺たちだけじゃなく、タイのほぼ全員から言われてました。
Kind of funny that Rosa had that look on her face.
まあ、と言っても、それも半日の話ですけどね。
Half a day?
正確には3時間50分に及ぶ内心での文句と5分間の射撃勝負、そして残り5分間の喧嘩の末、我々が敗北しました。
Barring?
ちょっと落ち着いてくださいよ。時間の無駄だからまとめてかかってこいって水瀬さんにそう言われただけで。
そうそう、他のみんなも努力で上り詰めた奴らだったから、あんな挑発を受けたら黙ってられませんよ。でも結局当時はどうやって叩きのめされたのか、今でもよく分かってないんですけどね。
So that's how Instructor Pierce was like.
彼女さん、反対に水瀬さんの黒歴史とか、子供の頃の話とか教えてくれませんか？
例えば失態話とか、人に言えないような話とか。
第一、空。
Before you can answer them, Luke's voice sounds from outside. Then he pushes the door open.
どうりでこんな夜中に飼育員がミルクを作るコツとか、シャワーに入れる際の注意点とか、いろいろと説明してくれたわけだ。これで謎が解けましたよ。思い出話をしたいなら、俺にも声をかけてくれればよかったのに。
いえいえ、せっかくの機会だから飼育のノウハウをちゃんと教えてもらった方がいいかと思って。ほら、象は人の5歳児並みの知力を持つ賢い動物だって言うでしょ。きっと将来の子育てにも役立ちますよ。
Oh god.
そうそう。子育ては奥さんに任せっきりじゃダメだって言いますからね。
How did they make this excuse on the fly? This is kind of funny.
今のうちに知識を身につけておけば、将来は彼女さんの助けにも。
Share the burden?
いやそうだ、夏にミルクをあげるんでしたよね。ほら、その子も待ちきれないみたいですよ。
Peter cries out while staring at the bottle in Luke's hand.
そうでしたね。今日はもう遅いし、お二人もそろそろ休んでくださいね。
ほんと、その通り。長居しちゃってすみませんでした。それじゃあ、おやすみなさい。
The twins rush out of the door.
はあ、ほんと困った人たちだ。
Luke sighs, lowering the bottle towards Peter. Peter quickly drinks every last drop in the bottle. He then lays down on the hay, content. He rubs against you and Luke. Luke looks over at the cot in the room.
お前も疲れたよな。もう休んでいいぞ。
What about you?
そこに藁があるから床で寝るよ。
That won't be comfortable. Let's take turns on night watch. That way we can both look after Peter. The caretaker said it's Peter's first night here, so we need to pay close attention to him.
なら、まずはお前が休んでいいぞ。先に俺が見張っておくからさ。
Luke, you aren't fooling anyone with that. I know that you're trying to trick me into sleeping, and then you won't wake me up later. You were planning to sleep on the floor all night.
そんなことないって考えすぎ。
Uh-huh. Come on, this is exactly what you did back when we were folding origami cranes for our parents as kids. You got me to sleep, then stayed up all night to finish the rest of the work by yourself. So I'm either taking first watch or sleeping on the floor with you. Your call. I mean that second one's kind of... Luke scratches his head helplessly, thinking for a moment.
それじゃあ、ベンチでも探してくるか。ベッドとくっつければ、二人で同時に寝られるだろうし。
Luke puts the bench against the bed. After Peter falls asleep, you both lay down. Even with the bench, space is still very limited. You and Luke are laying shoulder to shoulder. You can clearly hear your heartbeat and Luke's breathing under the thick blanket of silence. Your heartbeat sounds abnormally loud to your ears. Luke? You break the silence out of fear that he'll hear your drumming heartbeat.
どうした?
Kai and Elias were telling about the time when you were their instructor. They said that you were completely different from what I'm used to seeing.
そんな俺を知って、お前はどう思った? 俺っていう人間がわからなくなったか?
No, of course not. No matter where life takes you, no matter who you become, you're still Luke to me. Plus, I'm actually happy to know more sides of you, and not just your usual self.
そっか。
I'm just not satisfied knowing that there are things about you that other people know about, with me being left out of the circle. It feels like we've got a secret story with someone else. Like a precious treasure that had been stolen away by others, no longer yours. We were both so close to each other and should have been the ones to know each other best. I'm being unreasonable, aren't I? This is like the same sort of stuff actually that's been happening in different card stories, I feel like. Oh well. Maybe it's because today's been so eventful that my thoughts are spiraling in every odd direction. Luke smiles, turning towards you as he takes your hand in his.
別に変なんかじゃないぞ。 それと秘密ならまたこれからも作っていけるだろ。お前と俺しか知らない俺たちだけの秘密を。
Okay. Luke easily erases the sadness in your heart, and you slowly fall peacefully asleep. Luke quietly watches your sleeping face. The sound of breathing cuts through the silence of the night.
俺は一体どうすればいいんだろうな。
He reaches out his hand and quietly slid it across your head, hair, eyebrows, nose, and then finally stops at your lips. Your red lips are soft and moist. Your breath wraps around his fingertips. Luke can't help but nervously swallow. He jumps up, getting out of bed and speeding towards the window. The cool night breeze brushes his skin through his open collar. Luke takes several deep breaths as his blushing cheeks slowly start to cool down. Oh god.
やっぱり床で寝るか。
Over the next few days, Peter gradually becomes familiar with the other babies' elephants and caretakers in the sanctuary. The caretaker tells you that you can continue your trip with the peace of mind now. You and Luke are a little hesitant while you're debating with Luke about whether the both of you should stay for a couple more days. I and Elias return with an important message.
夏の母親が見つかった。
Really?
群れの移動ルートをきちんと調べたので間違い
That was
な
a
いと
bad
思い
one.
ます。
That was so bad. I'm not an actor. I'm sorry.
それでゾウの群れは今どこに？
Kai hands Luke the map with the herd's coordinates.
なるほど。公園の中でもかなり奥の方ですね。車での移動は可能ですか？
ギリギリですけど行けます。ですが現在地よりも奥に移動されてしまうとそれも難しいでしょうね。
だから一刻も早く出発しないといけません。仮に奥へ行かれた場合、夏が母親と合流できる機会が先延ばしに、あるいは訪れなくなるかと。
わかりました。それで夏を送り出すのに最適な時刻は？
今すぐにでも。車の用意はできていますので。
Now, you're happy that Peter's mother has been found, but you haven't expect to leave him so soon. Luke glances at you.
それなら俺たちも同行させてください。
もちろん。目的地までは遠いので到着までの間夏の面倒を見ていただけるとこちらも助かります。
よかった。それでは車を回してください。俺たちで夏を連れ出すので。
Kai and Elias nod and take their leave. Luke gently holds your hand. Luke,
気持ちはわかるよ。残り少ない時間だけど、二人でちゃんと夏の世話をして、ちゃんとお別れを言おうな。
You take Peter to the pickup truck, then they drive all of you in the direction of the herd. Kai and Elias come to a stop upon spotting the herd. They kill the engine a short distance away from the herd, letting you and Luke walk Peter back to his herd.
ほら、夏。あっちに見える像を知ってるか？
Peter seems to recognize something. He calls out to the herd. The female elephant at the head of the herd looks back and sees Peter. He lets out a powerful bellow and rushes over. Peter gets excited and runs forward cheerfully. A few moments later, Peter reaches the mother elephant. He rubs his head against her leg, just like how he rubbed against you and Luke. And the mother elephant nudges Peter with her trunk. just like you and Luke had nudged Peter with your hands. I'm so happy for you, Peter. Just when you think that it's all over, Peter turns around and runs towards you. Saying goodbye? He wraps his trunk around yours and Luke's wrist, pulling you toward the herd. We can't. Peter Pierce.
俺たちにも群れに加わってほしいのかもな。飼育員も話してたけど、象の子供が運よく群れに戻れた時、彼らは人間の親にも一緒に来てほしいと、そう要求するらしい。
Luke gently pats the top of Peter's head.
ごめんな、夏。一緒には行けないんだ。俺たちにはそれぞれ歩むべき道がある。立派な男になるよ、夏。
Peter looks at the two of you for a moment and finally releases Luke, whom he had been clutching onto. The mother elephant comes up to your side. She gazes at you with her huge and wise light brown eyes. Then she lifts her trunk, gives the both of you a cautionary sniff, and lightly strokes your arms a little.
彼女は俺たちの匂いを覚えようとしてるのかもな。象は記憶力が良くて、寿命も人と同じくらい長い。
Wow.
だから、an elephant never forgets.
The English, I'm
象は
sorry.
決して忘れない。きっと、いつかまた再会した時は、俺たちのことを思い出してくれるんじゃないか。
As if agreeing with Luke, the mother elephant raises her trunk, lets out another long bellow. Then the whole herd raises their trunks and cries out loudly in unison. The sound of their prolonged cries echoes across the vast grassland. Wow, I can't even say that. Becoming one with the wind and drifting up into the unchanging sky. After that, Peter leaves with the herd. As they walk away, you catch him looking back at you from time to time until he was nothing but a small gray dot in the distance. The herd becomes smaller and smaller, and finally they pass off into savannah on the horizon. Where's the period? Goodbye, Peter.
やっぱり、悲しいか。
You turn around at Luke's voice, only to find him looking at you in concern. I'm a little... You only spent a short time together, and you're obviously happy that Peter has been reunited with his mother. Instead of saying anything, Luke gently pulls your head closer to him, letting you bury your head into his neck. Finally, you break, unable to help the tears that flow. What are we to do, Luke? There are no apples here. You won't be able to have any apples now. Will he manage to escape from lions? There are so many poachers. Will he encounter danger? Luke holds you quietly, patting you on the back and listening to you. I kind of wish there was like a little illustration of that, but oh well.
そのうち、旅行でここに来ればいいだろう。そうすればきっと、また夏と再会できるって。
Yeah. You and Luke stand silently in the savannah for a long time before returning to the truck. Just as you are about to leave, you suddenly hear a gunshot in the distance.
今のは、象の群れの方からだ。
Kai quickly drives towards the gunshot while Elias swiftly contacts the park officials.
公園側はリーダーの像と青年の像に追跡装置をつけてるんですが、その情報を見る限りだと、像たちは今高速移動を繰り返してます。これはただの密猟じゃなく、大規模なハンティングだ。
Wait, why are they... Seriously, why are they doing this right in front of us? We can like see it. Or and hear it too. The map displayed on the phone showed the location of the elephants in real time.
近くに急行できる他のレンジャーは？
一番近いレンジャーでも30分はかかるかと。
That's not enough time.
見てください。地面に密漁者の痕跡が残ってます。
Several new car tracks and hoof prints have been found.
パッと見ですけど、2台の車と3頭の馬がここを通ってますね。わだちや馬のひづめの深さから見ると、相手は重火器を携帯している可能性もありますね。
まさか例のあいつらなのか？
例の？
はい。数ヶ月前、身元不明の密漁者たちが公園内に侵入したんです。人数はおよそ30人から50人。動くときは5人から10人で、
Thank God.
車の通行が難しい場所を狙っては、象の密漁を行ってきます。あいつらは強力なライフルを持っている上に、行動も素早く、計画的です。攻撃パターンも特徴的で、まず、足の遅い子供を狙い、周りの象が子供をかばうのを待って、それから群れ全体を狙うんです。
普通の密漁者なら警告すればすぐに逃げますが、こいつらは武装を用いてレンジャーたちと何度もやり合ってきました。公園はいくつかの国と隣り合っているため、密漁後にすぐ隣国へと逃げられてしまい、これまでは捕らえることができませんでした。
Luke ponders for a moment.
よし。大地は俺と一緒に、そいつらの追跡を。それから空には、増援の要請を頼みます。
Kai grunts in assent and stops the truck. Elias quickly gets off and hands Luke most of his weapons.
お前は空とここに残ってくれ。
Okay, be careful.
あ、
It's all you have time to say before the truck speeds off. The truck disappears into the overgrown bushes after a couple more turns. In the distance, the sound of gunfire rings out, interspersed with the angry screeches of elephants. Is Luke okay? Did he get hurt? You have no idea. All you can do is wait. Kai finally catches up with the poacher's vehicles with his pickup truck. Luke fires at the tires in short bursts, and they immediately retaliate by shooting back. Jesus. Kai floors the gas while steering sharply. The truck makes an S path through the grass. Bang, bang, bang. Tires blow out, followed by the glass shattering. The moment they leap out of the car, Luke raises his weapon and shoots the opposing driver.
お見事！何年経っても相変わらずすごい腕ですね。
早く馬に乗って！
Luke and Kai get on the horse and ride forward, flanking both sides of the poachers. As Luke is reloading, a poacher aims the black muzzle of his weapon at him.
宮下さん、後ろ！
Luke yanks on the reins and turns his horse around. The horse lets out a cry. There is a burst of bright red. Oh gosh. Red like the color of the setting sun. The pickup truck rushes back under the mist of blood and skids to a stop directly in front of you. The only person in the car is Kai, who's covered in dirt and blood.
早く乗って！
Where's Luke?
ひとまず落ち着いてください。先に言っておきますが、現場には救急設備の整った増援が向かっていると先ほど報告がありました。
Kai grits his teeth.
それと、水瀬さんから伝言を預かっています。もし何か届いたら、パスワードはお前の誕生日だと。
What does that even mean?
これは任務に出る前に言い合う。俺たちのルーティーンのようなものです。
Kai and Elias both avoid your eyes as they speak. You get to the spot fast. Luke is leaning against a tree, blood-soaked. Peter is standing in front of him, constantly touching him with his trunk. You jump out of the truck and run straight towards Luke, shaking, with eyes full of tears. Luke,
ごめん、驚かせちゃって。
his upper body is completely drenched in blood, but he still manages to crack a smile to comfort you. Your legs give out from beneath you as you fall to your knees before him. You do not dare to touch him. Luke, please hang on. We've got help on the way.
泣かないで。俺は大丈夫だから。
Trying to be tough, isn't he? Don't lie to me. You've lost so much blood.
これは馬の血だよ。
Luke freezes for a moment before taking off his jacket to show you that there is no bullet hole on it.
密猟者たちと銃撃戦になった時、俺が乗っていた馬が撃たれたんだ。
But Kai was... You turn to Kai, who shrugs his shoulders. He mouths, I didn't say anything. The twin winks at you and Luke simultaneously before they run off. What the heck?
なるほどな。あの二人、もう一度俺が指導し直す必要がありそうだな。
Luke reaches out to wipe the tears gently from your face. Aww.
ほら、俺はこの通り全然問題ないから。もう心配しなくていいぞ。夏のいる群れも大丈夫。傷を負った象はいるけど、命に別状はないよ。
Why didn't you come back with Kai earlier?
この密猟者たちを見張っておく必要があったからな。逃げられちゃ困るだろ。それに、象が怒って彼らを攻撃する可能性もあるし、血の匂いをたどって肉食動物が来るかもしれない。この連中は密猟団体の一部でしかないから、彼らを警察に引き渡さないと黒幕にたどり着けないんだ。驚かせちゃって、本当にごめん。
It's okay. I'm glad you're safe. As long as he is safe and sound, there's nothing else you care about. It's all you wish for. Soon the injured elephants were treated by the park's medical team. Luke leaves with Kai and Elias under the pretense of training. Oh, okay, good luck. It wasn't until an hour later when the police arrived to take the poachers away and take statements that they returned with limps and grimaces. Seeing them in such a miserable state, the officer stands in awe.
お二人はきっと密猟者たちと壮絶な戦いを繰り広げたのでしょう。省を代表して感謝申し上げます。
どうも。
あなた方が捕らえてくれた彼らは確かにここらでも悪名の高いある密猟団体のメンバーでした。我々も長い間追ってきましたが、手がかりという手がかりをつかめなかった相手です。ですがあなた方のおかげで今後はその捜査も大幅に進展するでしょう。
それは良かったです。
While Kai and Elias are debriefing with the police, you drag Luke back to Peter's barn. Luke, I was so panicked earlier that I forgot to ask you about something.
どうした？
Kai told me something when he was trying to trick me into thinking that you were injured. He said you told him that if I were to get anything, the password would be my birthday.
それもきっとあの二人の作り話だろうな。本気にしなくていいぞ。
You step forward and cage Luke into the corner of the wall. Oh. No. Kai wasn't completely lying. He was just lying about its purpose since he wanted me to misunderstand the situation. He also said that it was a routine thing you guys did before every mission. What does that even mean? Luke turns his face sideways to avoid your eyes. You move closer to him, closing the gap. I didn't expect the Kabedon from the main character, or Rosa. You can feel his breath brushing against the tip of your nose, warm and frantic. The two of you stare at each other for a few seconds before Luke finally sighs.
仕事柄な。任務の前には毎回遺書みたいなもんを書くんだよ。けど本当にただのルーティンなんだ。危険なスポーツをする前に書かされる同意書あるだろ。
That's not really the same.
あれと一緒だよ。
You're lying. The thing happened out of nowhere. You had no time to write anything.
だからそれは前もって用意しておくもので。
And when is that supposed to be?
いつってそりゃいつでも。
Normal days? When we were taking care of Peter, when we were on the train, or just any second of any given day. There is no knowing when an accident might happen, so he is always ready with the assumption that there is no tomorrow. Luke smiles without answering your question.
だから気にしなくていいって。本当にただのルーティンなんだよ。それにほら、今日だってちゃんと無事に帰ってきただろ。
You don't know what to say. The arm you propped against the wall to block his escape suddenly goes limp. The moment you turn around, Luke reaches out and pulls you in. Oh.
あのさ。
His mouth opens and closes a few times, but nothing comes out. You both remain silent. A few minutes later, a knock sounds at the door.
ミナスさん、警察の方がミナスさんに事情を聞きたいそうです。
わかった。今行く。
Luke was gone for a long time. He had planned to simply lie down and wait for his return, but you unwittingly find yourself falling asleep. You don't know whether it's due to the unexpected incident that happened yesterday, or maybe it's because of Luke's routine task, but a horrible nightmare assaulted your dreams. Luke stands alone in darkness of endless darkness. Stands alone in the silence of an endless darkness. Luke? You call out while running toward him, but he walks deeper into the depths of darkness as if he hadn't heard your voice. He increases his pace, moving further and further away from your reach. You can't catch up to him. Suddenly, the sounds of intense gunfire comes out of nowhere. Blood blooms red upon his body, and he falls to the ground. Luke! You jolt awake with a start and see Luke perched on the edge of the bed looking at you in concern. He holds your hand firmly in palm.
大丈夫か？悪い夢でも見てたのか？
Yeah, why are you here? You turn your head to the side to rub your eyes, pretending to be sleepy as you wipe the tears from the corners of your eyes. To avoid any follow-up question, you take the initiative to speak.
それはこっちのセリフだって。事情聴取が終わってお前を探してたら、夏の増車で眠ってるって係の人から聞いて、正直。
You didn't stay here and watch over me all night, did you?
部屋まで運んであげたかったけど、起こしたらかわいそうだろ。それにお前、寝てる時の呼吸が浅かったから、放っておくのも心配だったんだよ。それで、まだ眠いか？もうちょっと寝るか？
No, I'm fine. You don't want to go back to that horrible dream. Luke looks at you and smiles.
なら、 いいところに連れてってやろうか。
Where?
行けばわかるよ。さあ、行くぞ。
You both drive through the night. It's almost dawn when Luke brings the car to a halt. The savannah in the early morning has a sense of grandeur about it, as if it were first creation of heaven and earth.
ここは野生純化の訓練ステーションだ。人間に助けられた象やキリンの子供が基本的な生存能力を身につけた後、ここで野生に帰る準備をするんだ。外にある柵はその間肉食動物に襲われないよう彼らの安全を確保するためにある。一般の人は基本入れないけど、今回は夏を保護したってことでここのスタッフが融通を聞かせてくれたんだ。
Hmm. This is a nice
そうい
place.
うわけだからここでピクニックでもしようぜ。
It's like a little date. Well, they've been kind of doing that in this trip, I guess. I don't know, a little bit. Eh? Luke takes out 2 large packages from the trunk of the car.
ほら、突っ立ってないで一緒に準備するぞ。
Freshly squeezed juice, freshly sliced fruit, desserts, sandwiches. He and Luke quickly set everything up. Then he pulls you down to sit. She looks so confused right now. But look at her blushing face and look at Luke. Aw.
ごめんな。限られた食材と俺の腕じゃこれくらいしか用意できなかった。どうか多めに見て味見してみてくれ。
You take a bite of the sandwich. Sandwich is very simple. Luke used prepackaged sauce because he doesn't know how to make it. It is nothing special taste-wise. Nothing special, come on. Even so, it's loaded with all of your favorite meat and vegetables. The sandwiches are just like Luke, simple and sincere. So yummy. Luke smiles quietly while looking at you.
ごめんな。任務のこととか俺のこととかお前に黙ってて余計な心配をかけたくなくてさ。でも結局お前をあんなことに巻き込んじまった。それが原因で昨夜はよく眠れなかったんだろう。
Look, I know how you felt when you told me to quit and X. I will pursue the truth even if the masters are trying to stop me. But there is someone that you just want to remain safe and happy for his whole life, far from all the troubles of the world. You just want him to be spoiled by the entire world.
今の仕事続けてほしくないか。
To be honest, I think he's happy about doing all his, his job right now. But I don't want to say yes. Let's just say. Don't worry. That was before. You have my full support now, just like how you supported me. Otherwise, I'd be a hypocrite. Besides, you'll never be happy if you give up what you want to do just for my sake. And I want you to be happy. It's just that I can't help you in any way.
そんなの気にしなくていいって。お前が無
I
理を
didn't
す
mean
る
to
必要
sound
なん
so
てな
happy
いか
about
ら。
that.
そばにいてくれるなら俺はそれだけで十分だよ。
I also didn't mean to talk over Luke. Oh my god. You quickly avert your gaze. Then, promise me something.
ああ、約束する。自分の身は必ず守るよ。
That's a must, of course. But I meant something else.
別？
Don't be your own worst enemy.
で、一人で抱え込むようなことなんて俺にはないと思うけど。
There are lots of examples out there, like stuff people do in the movies and all. Like, what if you suddenly disappear someday because you think that your job's so dangerous that it'll be dangerous to those around you? Some feel that they can't promise their loved ones a stable life and think that they'll be happier with someone else. And some guys think that they have to give up their feelings to become perfect soldiers or the sharpest blade and the like. Oh, Rosa, you've seen so many movies. You describe and list out the many scenarios you have seen in movies. Luke has always been far more considerate of others than of himself. Like how he couldn't bear letting his fellow soldier risk his life alone, yet concurrently feeling guilty for making you worry.
知ってる人間として言わせてもらうけど、それは映画の見過ぎだぞ。
No use trying to change the topic, Luke. I seem to remember that you have a penchant for this kind of thing. You avoided me for a long time when you first returned to Stella's because you didn't want to bother me, right?
それはもうしないって前も約束したろ。
But you're avoiding the question. Now promise me you won't cheat yourself of happiness. You can't just always blame yourself and assume you can't bring happiness to others. No turning your back on happiness. You have to cheer up and pursue the things you want. You have my full support. If you write yourself off, it really hurts those who are supporting you like me. I'll never be happy again. Luke looks at you without moving a muscle and stays silent for a long time.
わかった。約束するよ。もう絶対に一人で抱え込んだりしない。1分1秒でも長く、俺は自分の思うように生きる。
I really want you to, though. I really want you to.
そしていつだって、お前を心配するのと同じくらい、俺は自分の目的のために頑張るよ。俺を応援してくれるお前をがっかりさせたくないし、辛い思いもさせたくないからな。
Luke reaches out to stroke your hair. Your figure, highlighted by the golden glow of the sunrise, is reflected in his bright eyes.
これでいいか？なんなら、弁護士大先生の立ち会いのもと、契約書に署名と捺印もしとくか？
Yes, you do. Luke smiles and slowly writes his name on your palm with his finger. Then he hooks his pinky finger with yours and presses his thumb to your palm.
よし、署名捺印完了っと。
That's so cute.
さて、早速その約束の内容を果たさせてもらうぞ。今俺がやりたいことは、この朝食をゆっくりとって旅を続けること。
This is in the middle of it, huh?
弁護士大先生はいかがなさいますか？
It's a plan. Oh, wait. It already ended. Alright, let's check this out.
送った動画見たか？大地が撮ってくれたんだ。こないだ夏の群れに偶然会ったらしくてさ、元気そうだよな。これで少しは安心できたか？
Mm-hmm.
お前の気持ちはなんとなくわかるよ。ここ最近は夏の動画ばっか見てるし。だろ？俺がお父さんみたいで面白いとも言ってたよな。子供たちの世話をするのは得意だからな。あれくらい普通だよ。一度に何人の世話ができるか？そんなの考えたことなかったな。理想の人数？男女どっちなら楽かって？いきなり質問攻めだな。
Oh my god, what?
わかったよ。答えてほしいなら答えるよ。人数なら3、4人くらいはいけるかな。 それから性別だけど、楽さで言えば男の子かな。まあ女の子でも、昔はお前とよくおままごとしてたし、ちゃんと対応できるさ。俺は別にそんな顔。もういいよ。それより、この後一緒に出かけないか？うん。じゃあ後で。またな。
That was cute. Anyways, that'll be the end of it. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.